Oh, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is NovaWar coming to you from the fine locale of Canuckville, Canada, with another fantastic special video from Dropzone. This actually is a bit of a special video for the most part, now that I think about it. Today, Jeff and I, a handful of others, got to mess around in the ranked mode. And we get to test out their drafting system and then go and play a match and see how it went. And I didn't stream or record this on the fly, I was just kind of participating, but we can use this footage. Apparently we are allowed to, so we're going to see how it goes with you guys today. So the draft mode kind of works like pretty much other draft modes in similar games. You're going to be able to choose a rig to each side and then 2 rigs to each side in a counter pick kind of situation. There's currently no banning at the moment, but in the future there could be something, probably when there's more rigs involved, for sure. Now, the thing that kind of, the other thing that separates this, other than the picking phase to choose your rigs on each side, so both sides aren't going to have the same rigs, you're going to have a sideboard, and the sideboard actually is comprised of, not these specifically, but your abilities that you choose outside of the ranked drafting screen, and you choose these based on a kind of a handful of abilities that you really want to be able to use in a match, or a wide range of matches. You want to be able to give yourself the flexibility of choosing things that suit your needs as best as possible. So in this, we can see what each side is picking, we can also see what the abilities are that they're replacing, so on and so forth. For myself, I haven't played enough of the rigs or messed around with them to really know too much, so I didn't spend too much time over here. I just went on what I knew about each individual rig. I'm up against Plutus, this guy right here, who is a very, very scary unit. I could have picked him, but I've never played with him, and I didn't want to hamstring myself any more than I already was with the fact that I didn't get to use my Vanguard. I had to use Widget, so I'm using a rig that I didn't really have too much, of any experience with, outside of the fact that I had used Widget in the tutorial mode. But I did get my my #1 tank pick, and I did get my #2 gunner pick, so I was quite pleased with that when that all kind of handed out, or hammered itself out. So I'm picking, or I have picked, and so is my opponent, our various parts now to put on these rigs. We have locked them in, and we are now off to the races. This is my first ranked game, or everybody's kind of first ranked game, for the most part. It's also my first time in the, in the replays thing. I've never been in here. This is a whole bunch of firsts. But we'll try and do our best here as we can. So, as many of you guys know already, you're essentially trying to get as many of these little bad boys, these cores, to the center as you possibly can. In doing so, you gain points. Imagine that. And then, the other thing that you can do to get points are pull in some of these bonuses here. They're based on random, randomly pulled objectives that give you some points. I've actually got to turn down this volume because holy crap! Yeah, so in this one, it's Eradicate, Total Vision, and Boss Slayer. So right now, I thought, you know, I'm gonna grab a couple of these camps, and I'm gonna see if I can get Total Vision. Now, if I was smart in the early on, I probably would have grabbed this if I could, but, and I could have, but I didn't. And we can see Plutus is actually taking out a camp here of mine that I gave up to get around the back side, on his. He's actually taking on all these level 1 camps with 1 rig at a time, which is probably smarter than what I'm doing, running around with all 3 of my rigs, but I'm a scrub, and so I make interesting life choices. Oh, I can use the middle mode. Oh, it's smooth. It's a little weird. I feel a little drunk, but we'll see if I can do this. We're gonna chase him off with Widget. We've got that control, but now he's going up here with Plutus, and he's taking out my vision before I can grab the last. So I had an idea. It didn't pan out as I'd hoped, but hey, we got down here, we chased him off, we took a couple of his cores. There's still one core that I had to leave behind here, but you gotta win some, you lose some. If I was smart, I would have actually sent one of the rigs I already had a core with to go get that vision. But there we go, we've just planted one, as you just saw. We're keeping them out. Here's Plutus here. So Plutus, I don't know if you're going to see right away, but Plutus's biggest ability, that's a real pain in the arse, is his wall. And thankfully, I risked it. He didn't have it, or didn't feel like using it right off the bat. And you will see it in this match as we go on. So now they're planting, getting a couple. We're now tied 2-2 for the points. And Warhead here is going to go for a serious plant. I get a surround on him really quickly. And I was trying to get ready for, I couldn't quite get it. Plutus actually picked up his core. I was hoping to steal that core for my own, but Plutus was right on top of that. That sneaky son of a bitch. So Vanguard, for those who want to learn a little bit more about each of the rigs, Vanguard can be set up in a number of different ways, but this is kind of similar to the setup I use. The scatter laser is really nice for some AoE, and actually lowers the some of the damage output of whatever it hits. I'm going to take on another camp here. So as the match goes on, I know this is going to sound scattered, but I'm trying to cover as many topics as possible while we're watching this. When you take out one of these, the next round that comes up out of the ground are the Kavash units. You're going to have an alpha, then 2 alphas afterwards. And the alphas are pretty gnarly, tanky units. They also give a lot of experience. And in this case, while it's not here, sometimes there's an Alpha Slayer thing that allows you to get bonus points for taking out, usually I think it's 9 alphas. So they're planting again. He's getting a big lead on me now. And at this point, I'm thinking, I am way out of my league. Oh, actually, there is Plutus's wall. Right there. So you can plant that down, block you out, block you in, do whatever you want with that. Kind of similar for those who do StarCraft to a force field of sorts, but in this case, it is a singular wall. There he is, finally picking up that core that I had left behind, and I had totally forgotten about at that point. So the trade-off here is, you know, where if you're splitting your units up, you sometimes have to go back to base quite frequently. I'm still trying to find a balance for my own playstyle. And there's an Eradicate right there. Destroy 100 Kavash units. He just got +1 points for doing that before I did. And that was mostly possible because of his splitting ability. And so that's definitely a +1 for that. This is going to be awfully close. Oh my goodness, he's got to run out of there before he gets killed by the Kavash. So I'm thinking again I want to have total vision. I'm thinking maybe I could pull it off now if I do this. I'm just going to grab it and then go do some work on the side and think about getting that last one afterwards. But we'll see if he lets me do it. That was quite a back and forth in this match for that. Vanguard's still trying to take this stuff out. So the other bonus is, of course, is that you can grab some experience a lot faster. As you can see, he's already 1.5 basically levels ahead of me for his squad. And so what this is telling me watching my replay for the first time is that I really, although I already knew this to a degree, I really just left that behind. Really, Adam? Really, bro? Really? What that's telling me is I really need to strongly figure out about how to split a little bit better in the early game, and I have ideas about how I can do that using Vice, but I won't go into them right now, I guess, off the top. There's that wall again. He doesn't want me coming out, as I am up on him 3-2 at the moment. Now here I'm going to send Widget while I'm planting, because I'm doing as much distraction as I can here, and I want to grab this last vision tower. Unfortunately, Vanguard is all over that. Like white on rice. And using the Angel of Mercy, which is actually, I think, a new, or a modified ability for this patch coming up. So I haven't seen it used directly on somebody like that to this point. So that was kind of cool to see. It was a little bit of a wacky waving thing, wasn't it? It's like a danger noodle. So here we go again. So like I said, there's the 2 now, alphas, and this is really tough. You can see my tank is taking a whole bunch of damage here. And his Vanguard's going to come in and try and take advantage of that. Tried to get that alpha kill. Couldn't quite get the alpha kill steal. Thankfully for me, because I'm already behind in levels. And he's planting, he's 3 points up. This is looking scary for me right now. And I had already, at this point, I had pretty much decided that if I was going to win this, it would be a Christmas miracle. But I just wanted to basically do as many camps as possible and stay as healthy as possible, because in a team fight with a Plutus, I've not had a lot of success winning. Almost ever. I've not quite figured that out yet, but this Warhead got real brave. I've stunned him with Widget. I took him out, and now it's a 3v2. Fury is really low, though. I'm going to heal up with Widget as best I can, and we're going to try and make this work, but Plutus can make Kavash units, and we're already going to lose our Fury to this Vanguard, who is just putting in massive amounts of damage right now. That ulti does a great deal of damage. I'm going to have to make use of that in my builds, because I use Vanguard quite a bit. Plutus mistakenly almost blocks off his own Vanguard, and I'm going to get really, really, really brave right now. I'm going in with my AoE with Vice. I'm trying to keep Widget alive, and Vice is enough to actually force them out of here. I grabbed one of the cores anyway, so I wasn't completely going out of here empty-handed. And now we're going to heal up as we wait. We still have 10 seconds before Fury comes back. The death timers can be pretty massive. And so when you take out an enemy, you really, even if it's only one, if you can, you want to take as many objectives in that time as you can. Because it makes a substantial difference. Especially stuff like taking vision towers back at the very least. If you get your vision during that time, then, you know, that's the least that you could do. So I have a feeling he's doing this. I grab total vision while he's doing it. And now, we get in on it. They're low health. They can't come into this fight right away. So I'm going to push Warhead out. And I'm going to grab one of their cores. While they have to be forced out. Now this is something I haven't seen. And this is cute. I like this. I haven't seen this before. Mostly because, again, I've never used the replay function. And I never thought to do this myself. But, dropping cores back at home for them to go collect later. It's like having their own little nest of cores, because I can't really go in there and... I mean, I can, but it's... ultimate bravery. And here we go, we have another team fight right now. Widget actually locked down the Plutus, but Plutus is doing so much damage to Widget. Vanguard dives in. Vanguard's ult is up. It's going to do a lot of damage, but it's locked to Vice right now, who's got lots of armor. And I'm actually just going to go face tank Plutus as much as I can. I cannot stress how much I hate Plutus. And you can see it here, I actually just dodge Warhead's chain hook by the skin of my teeth, and I gotta get out because I'm not able to handle that right now. Plutus is actually gonna go down here. He knows I'm going back to base, and I'm hurting hard. He's gonna grab some vision back, and try and take control of the map back at this point. Look, he's got Vanguard here as well. And he's actually using something I use with Vanguard when I play with her, and that's at level 3, I think. Yeah, if you're carrying a core, you get a bonus speed, and the aura gives bonus speed to allies as well, which is a really big help. Even in team fights, extra speed can be life, just with any game like this, really. So at this point, I'm down 2, going on 3 points. He's got enough cores to feed an army over here. And I'm still playing catch-up in squad level, so I'm really down. My only hopes right now in this match that I could think of was I was going to need some seriously epic team fights to be able to pull this off. And this gets even scarier because he's already got the Eradicate, and now he's going for the Boss Slayer. Not only is he going to get in on this Boss Slayer, but he's also, well, he's even committing Vanguard's ult here, which is wise, because these things are nasty. There's a boss lane, 400 experience, and a damage boost to the entire team. I'm planting, I just hear in-game that that's happened, and I'm thinking, oh god, no, if this team fight happens, I'm in some trouble. I get the stun on Plutus, he doesn't get the lockout on Widget, and I'm gonna get into a position where I'm as free from these guys as possible. I can't afford it. Luckily, he is dedicated to getting this, this boss slayer. And I could think about that happening, but I couldn't really stop him at the moment, so I had to ignore the fact that it was happening. There's 3 minutes left of the match. I know that there's a timer for these bosses to come back, and he still needs one more after this goes down. So I wasn't sure, because I don't know what the timers are on the bosses, but I thought that if I could, I might be able to irk out a 1-point win if I just get my hands on some cores and play them at the right time towards the end of the match. Because I knew the odds of me winning a team fight, especially when he's killing bosses and getting damage buffs, wasn't phenomenal. Especially now he's 3 squad levels up. Although I'm gonna get this second squad level, or one of these squad levels down and bring it back to 2. But he's just manhandling camps now with this, this damage boost. I'm gonna grab this. This camp, this alpha is gonna go down. And then we're gonna continue on. He's got such a, you know, in his position, if I'm him and I'm seeing that I'm up squad levels right now, and there's 2 minutes left, and I'm already working on trying to just do bosses, which I've already cleared 2 camps. I have a damage boost. The odds of my opponent being able to beat me in a team fight is slim. I would have just been collecting these cores ahead of wiping these camps and just planting and ignoring everything else. Plutus is actually going to come over here because he's getting greedy enough. He wants to take out all this stuff. Plutus has the ability, actually, I think he's got, does he have one of us? No, he doesn't, I don't think. Core site, circuits, yes he does, he does. So when he creates a Kavash unit, which he's got this little guy right here, I think, and this guy here, are his, actually might have a few, yeah, he has got a few. The Kavash won't attack Plutus or his units, so long as he doesn't, I think, attack the main one here is how I understand it. I'm not 100% on that, but it allows him to clear camps solo a lot, which is a big advantage if you're good with a Plutus, to be able to take those out by yourself and still commit 2 rigs to another location. That's really handy. So right now, I'm in some serious trouble because he has total map vision. I'm in the middle of the map by myself. I know that he's got my cores from that camp. We're only tied. There's 55 seconds left. Plutus is at almost half health. I'm going to get a stun on Warhead despite warning Plutus. Plutus is going to warp in strangely. I don't know why he did that, but he pulled me over the wall, and I'm going to ult with Vice, which gives me a lot of armor in this area. Being an idiot, I left Fury behind for a long period of time, but it doesn't matter because Vice's ult is allowing him to live. I pull everybody in with Vice's E. And now I'm going straight after Vanguard. That's the biggest damage dealer on the field right now. If I can get the kill on Vanguard, I'm in the clear. But I'm not going to be able to do it, and that's unfortunate. I actually have to get Vice out of here. Plutus, strangely, I think, was hoping to get this wall to block me out, but doesn't. And I end up letting this Warhead plant instead of doing anything, because I was in the middle of slowly sending my Vice home with a click route to get him back home. There's the stun. I'm going to get that. Oh, but am I going to get him? No, because I healed ridiculously. That healing orb also heals the enemies, so you have to be careful. We're at the 0 second! He's up 1 point! I have to plant to keep this game going! And I do! I sacrifice half my life to get that in, but if I didn't, the game was over anyway. We are now 2-2, with Fury with almost no health. I bring Vice with only half life left from being healed up at camp to get some AoE damage, and I pull him off with Vice's E to stop the planting! With 24 seconds into overtime, I'm going to kill the Vanguard, I'm going to grab that core with the E, and now he has to desperately plant with Plutus, but Plutus doesn't have enough health to be able to plant that. I'm going to take Plutus out. Here comes his, what is this, Warhead, ulted in from a distance to try and do some damage there. I had to take off Vice because I didn't want him to die. I wanted to keep the core alive because it's the only core in play other than Warhead's. He doesn't have anybody else up. They're still 30 seconds away. Warhead is going to fall, and I am going to plant with Vice in an epic last standoff in overtime. I'm almost exactly a minute deep, and I'm going to take it. Ah! Yes! I actually won. Christmas miracle. I know, everybody expected me to lose, and so did I. I thought I already had thought that I had lost 5 or 6 times in that match, but we won in overtime. Never give up, never surrender. That last little E there from Vice, having brought him back, was what basically allowed me to win the game because I pulled them off planting with that move, and reset the timer entirely on them, and then took them out. So that otherwise that was game over. So that was a nice little exchange. Pat myself on the back. There's your score screen where basically I should have lost at every point in this game, but it all came down to the very end, and we took it anyway. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wow, he rushed the 5 on Vanguard. Wanted that alt. That's kind of cute. That alt is really nice. So that's actually changed in the patch that we were playing on there, that you could attach it to an enemy like that. So that's quite something. That's a new thing. And then rush to 5 on Plutus. So that's kind of cute. It's interesting. You can see for me, I actually rushed to... I didn't even rush to 5, but I got 5 on Vice, and that was all. I was basically just countering as best I could with what was going on. I was so behind that I had to rely on Vice's ult to keep me alive in that team fight, but it did it, and we won, ladies and gentlemen. So that's it for that match. I thought I'd record that one for you guys. Hopefully you found that entertaining. I don't know nearly enough about the game to be able to cast it accurately, and I know I was a jumbled mess there, but hopefully it was still fun for you guys to watch. That last second showdown, and we're gonna have some more Dropzone for you coming, because there are big announcements in the not too distant future for us to discuss, and so keep your ears to the ground on that, and you'll be seeing more of it. And until I see you next time, ladies and gentlemen, please do me a favor: have a good morning, afternoon, or evening. Stay safe, have a good one, and as always, good luck. Have blind luck, because holy shit, did it ever work for me.